There are so many guns in Escape from Tarkov now, and that means there's always a new gun to hate, a new meta forming, but it wasn't always this way. And in this video, I want to talk about a few old school guns in Escape from Tarkov that still absolutely slap. I'm Jessekazam, welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. If you like this video, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel. All that stuff helps me out a ton, a lot more than you think, so thank you to those that do that. I also stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey, but with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So first and foremost, is there anything wrong with meta guns? Absolutely not. I'm actually a big advocate of the fact that it's a video game, so wanting to use the best gear that you have available to you is absolutely not a bad thing at all. I think a lot of times the metas that inform maybe balance changes that need to be made, but I'm not out here shaming people that use mutants or HKs or enforcers, stuff like that. I love those guns as well. However, if you're the kind of person that relentlessly uses metas and min-maxes everything only, and you can't have fun playing Escape from Tarkov any other way but that way, well, then this video is probably not for you, because the point of this is guns that are cool, that have been in the game for a long time, that a lot of times get overlooked just because the sheer amount of guns that are in the game and because these metas. This isn't specifically a budget video, although these guns end up being pretty cheap compared to the new metas, because back in the day, we didn't really have 500, 600, 700,000 ruble guns when you add all the attachments and all the ammo and all that kind of stuff like that. It was just a different game back then. And I've even made kind of more deeper videos on almost all these guns, to my cheap Chad destroyers and stuff like that videos. But anyways, with all that aside, we're going to start with the first one, a classic Tarkov weapon, and that is the stock Springfield Armory M1A. So the M1A has gone through a whole lot of back and forth in and out of the meta. You used to see the SAS huge M1A, long suppressed 50 round mags, because you could get the recoil down really low, the ergo up pretty high. That was back when thermals were all over the place, and that was kind of crazy. But it's been quite a long time, even way before that, since you saw people pretty regularly running just the stock Springfield Armory M1A. Now, 775 USD kind of sucks. That's almost 100,000 rubles. Go to the flea market. This thing's like 50K. This is 308 semi-auto, man. This thing is just aggressive. It shoots a really big bullet. It's hard hitting, and it's not that expensive when you find them on the flea market. They're actually one of the most modular guns in the game. You don't really need to do anything to it, though. That's kind of the beauty of the M1A. On one hand, you spend 40,000 rubles on the gun. You can throw a red dot right here on the built-in mount. You can add a mount, so you can add, throw on any of your long-range optics. You can throw an adapter on, get a suppressor, get it going, and boom, you've got a 308 semi-auto monster. You know what I mean? Maybe not the best min-max stats in the world, but this thing is awesome. It takes the 20 or 30 round mags, and you can just destroy people. On the flip side of that, though, this is one of the most modular guns in the game, with all sorts of different chassis and mounts and barrel lengths and suppressors and foregrips and handguards and flashlights and the ability to do canted sights and stuff like that. This is actually one of the most modular guns in the game. You don't see a lot of the chassis too often. You see some cool stuff like Gluhar's, EBR, M1A and stuff like that, but you don't really see too much of it. It's either the meta SAS, kind of Chad gun, or really nothing. If we want to take a look at the ammo here for the M1A, of course, there's tons of rounds. You can spawn in with a lot of these as scavs and stuff like that. M80 is, of course, the most common round found on PMCs. With the 308, it's cheap, it's readily available, and 41 pen and 80 damage is nothing to slouch at. People definitely sleep on M80 still. M62, you got the tracer. It's great for sniping. A little bit better, 44 pen, 79 damage. Once again, a great round. And then, of course, the coveted M61, that's got 64 pen and 70 damage. Really expensive. You can craft these. I wouldn't say overrated, but it's a great round. But people think that you have to use this in order to, do well with 308 guns, but that's just not the case. Either way, 308, hard-hitting round. You've got a round that's accessible at almost every stage of the game, and they all do really, really well. But there's a lot here. It's a fun gun, and if you're looking for something to just change it up, get something that's aesthetically pretty awesome, the M1A is actually a pretty cool gun to kind of sink your teeth into and enjoy in the game. All right, and coming in at number 2, we have one of my favorites, especially early wipe, and that is the PP19 Vityaz. So this is a full auto 9mm SMG that is available early on. Day one of the wipe, you find 4 T-plugs. Boom, you can barter from one of these bad boys. Getting level 2 proper is not that hard, and you can buy these for 21,000 rubles. And once you get to level 20, you can find them even cheaper than that. I'm a big full auto person. I really like using full auto guns. I always find myself, I'm just not that accurate. Some people can really wreck with semi-auto, conserve ammo, do that. I find myself winning more fights with full auto. So as early as I can, I like getting a hold of something that's full auto and decent recoil stats and stuff like that. It's an SMG. It shoots a small round, so that means it's just pretty easy to handle really early on, and it's easy to get something full auto. These are actually pretty modular as well, more modular than you'd think. There's the barter here for the like super decked out of it. Yes, compressed, really good stats. And then you can also find Gluhar with almost this exact same build. You can find these builds, I believe, in Kiba and stuff like that. And it just shows how modular the gun is. Obviously, you could replace a lot of these parts for even better parts, better suppressors, better foregrips and stuff like that. But it shows how modular it is. Once again, this might not be meta, min-maxing. You might not want to spend all this money modding out of PP19, but it's fun. They look cool, and it's a way to shoot that 9mm round, that 7.31 or the AP 6.3, without having to just rely on using a vector. Now, that being said, we can take a look at the ammo types here. I'm sure you know, but the most kind of popular ones, well, you've got your leg meta rounds like your Quake Maker and your Luger CCI and stuff like that, and the RIP rounds. And of course, your PST GZH is going to be your day one 9mm ammo, 20 pen, 54 damage. You really got to hit your shots in the face there. The AP 6.3, pretty expensive this wipe because you can't buy them from traders. You can craft this, and once you kind of craft a decent enough quantity, you're pretty good. 30 pen, 52 damage. Once again, it's 9mm, right? You got to hit your face. You got to hit the face shots, or, you got to run away from the fight. And then, of course, the 7.31, which was renamed to PBP. This is a really expensive round, but once again, you can craft these. Once I craft a few hundred of them, then I'll rock some either vectors or PP19s or some 9mm guns just to switch it up. 39 pen, 52 damage. Probably not worth paying this price off the flea market. But if you want to craft them, you can have some fun. Once again, maybe not min-maxing in the hideout. You can craft stuff or sell it for money. I don't know. I just like switching it up, having fun, using different guns, and the PP19 is a pretty awesome choice. And last but certainly not least, the OG, we've got the SKS. Now, you can get the SKS day one of the wipe from Prapper. You can find these all over Tarkov on Scavs. And then you get the real juice once you get up to Jaeger level 1. You can purchase the OP SKS with the dovetail mount. You can put some of the dovetail red dots or the PSOs. SKS PSO is just one of the most classic combinations in the game. The SKS is one of the quietest guns in the game when it is suppressed. So you come in here and you throw the hexagon suppressor right on it, and this is dead quiet. You would actually really be surprised at how you can confuse squads. Man, if you're like 50, 75, 100 meters away, you kill one of a squad, you can just see them running around. They have no idea where they're getting shot from. This gun is silent. It's super quiet. It's a classic Escape from Tarkov gun. Again, more modular than people really give it credit for. There's a few different stocks. There's a few different chassis. There's all sorts of stuff you can do to it. Once again, maybe not the most meta thing, maybe not the most bang for your buck as far as min-maxing your the value of your guns, but they look cool, they perform really well, they're fun to use. And then, of course, if we go back and we can take a look at the ammo for the SKSs, 7.62 is a round that is kind of back in business in Tarkov, a lot more popular with the addition of the mutant, but we're talking a 7.62 PS, readily available day one of the wipe. Cheap. You can purchase as many of them as you want, I believe. Yep, you can. And this has got 32 pen, 57 damage. Really great round if you are on a budget, if you're newer to the game. Of course, there's the coveted 7.62 BP. These are really the only two rounds to be concerned with because PS is available at level 1, and it's kind of better than these other tracer rounds and the HP rounds and stuff like that. BP, it is expensive. Not as expensive as some of the other rounds because it's very craftable. So even though there's a high demand, there's a high supply. This might be worth just purchasing. But once again, I have about 2,000, 2,500 rounds of this. I haven't bought a single one. I just craft them. When I have a bunch, I start using guns like, AK-103s, AKMs, SKSs, and mutants and stuff like that. 47 pen, 58 damage. It's a phenomenal round. And then occasionally, if you find some, the MAIAP is a pretty baller round coming in at 58 pen, 47 damage. This thing basically ignores armor. You're going to be like 2-3 tapping people with slicks and stuff like that with this. It's expensive. I wouldn't really recommend buying it, but If you find some, it's nice to use, and it also flies really, really fast. So throwing this out of an SKS with a 10 or 20 round mag actually could be the play, especially when you're suppressed. So once again, that's the SKS. SKS is a lot of times viewed as a low tier gun or a newbie gun or a budget gun, but it can still slap. It practice that trigger discipline, that accuracy, and 7.62 is a really, really awesome round. So that's it. Those are a few old school Escape from Tarkov guns that absolutely still slap. If you like this video or want me to do more stuff like this, let me know down in the comments below. There's a bunch of these types of guns when I was doing research for this video, a bunch of guns that have been in the game for a really, really long time that often get overlooked by the new meta or the shiny new guns. So I hope this helped. I hope that whether you are kind of looking for a new budget gun or you've been playing the game for a long time and are just tired of the same old guns, I hope that this helped, gave you something to use, try out, and have fun dropping PMCs in Escape from Tarkov. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to check out this video. If you like it, think about dropping a like, commenting down below, or subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Like we said before, I stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say hey. And if you're looking for people to play Tarkov with, our Discord community is an awesome place to be. That link is down below as well. Thank you again for stopping by, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.